Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I'm Reverend Tiffany White, Sage Woman, and this show is brought to you by TruePsychicsNetwork.com. I apologize, I'm having difficulties on my PC where I normally record from. So, I'm having to record from my laptop, so the quality might not be as great, so I apologize from that. I apologize for that, I should say. Excuse me. So, um, anyway, we'll get through everything. Woohoo! uh, technology. What's great when it wants to work, right? But anyway, again, thank you. Welcome to the show, and I'm so very grateful for those of you who are joining me live. This show, of course, is also going to be archived, so you'll be able to watch it at your leisure. So I find that is real popular for a lot of people because most people are not home at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So here we are. All right. I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted. I just, you know, trying to get everything to work here to do the live show. The last 2 weeks I have been recording the shows just because I have been unavailable on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. on my live show time. So I have been recording them, and I thought I was going to have to be doing that again today and having these difficulties, but hey, we're making it through. Everything is good. Right? So it's all right. I'm just you know what? I don't say go with the flow, but I'm just going with it. It's like whatever. If I can get on this way, that's great. If not, whatever. But anyway, so again, you are watching me via my laptop instead of my PC because for some reason, a plug-in, I'm not going to mention any names, kept crashing on me. So I've had to, it's like, okay, let's rethink this here. We'll just go onto my laptop. So that's why it may look a little different. And I'm trying to make sure that you don't get the sun coming in and from behind you. So, and from behind me. Welcome everyone that's joining me in chat. So I'm just making sure of the quality here. Okay. All right. It's not my HD camera, but it will work. Gotta use what we got, right? All right. Again, welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. And today is July 14th, 2015. And the topic of today's show is going to be about death and transitioning and what is your spiritual transition plan? Do you have one? So we'll talk more about that in a few moments. I like to start off with the numerology of the day. And before I get to that, if you hear a noise in the background, I do have the AC on. I had turned it down to the lowest setting so it wouldn't run the whole time. So if you hear, I apologize for that, but it is very necessary. So if I shut it off, I'll be a big heaping mess by the time the show is done. So please bear with me. Thank you with that. All right, so the numerology of the day, I like to start the show off with, I love numbers. And now here's the thing. Most people think that you have to be good at math to appreciate numbers, and that's not true. I was horrible at math, but it's experiencing numbers in a different way. Experience them energetically, and the way that numbers vibrate really felt good to me. All right, letting numbers be the power that they are instead of trying to manipulate them like in math. I know. Some things in math. I mean, like I was okay with chemistry, with formulas and things like that, but it was just, here, do this algebra, do this equation, do this. It's like, why? It's boring. And who threw alphabets in with numbers? That's where it got confusing to me. All right, anyway, so In numerology, we take the complete date and add it down to a single digit between 1 and 9. Or I should say, any number. We're just going to use the date for today to see the energies for the day. Okay, so we take them down to a single digit between 1 and 9. So today's date is July 14th, 2015. Well, July we know is 7, so there you go, 7. The date is 14, and we add that. 1 plus 4 is 5. And the 2015 is an 8 vibrational year. And we get that by 2 plus 0 is still 2, plus 1 is 3, and then 3 plus 5 is 8. So this is a very beautiful, 8. What do you think about when you see and feel the number 8? It's like infinity, isn't it? So it's a very, very high vibrational, spiritual, and infinite type of year. A lot's going to get done spiritually and in the upper vibrations. More like a merging of all the vibrations, alright? It's going to be really, really beautiful. So 7 plus 5 plus 8, we're going to add it all together. The month, the date, and the year equals 20. And then 2 plus 0 is 2. So the vibrational day today is a 2 energy type of day, 2 vibrational type of day. And it's a very high energy by itself, the number 2. It's a great day to get a lot done. You can, though, complete some things that you may have started. Go ahead and do that. It's a very powerful day to make plans for like next week in your future. It's just a great day in communication with others, whether it's business and personal life. And it's a great day to harmonize with others. So this is where that communication is going to be in harmony. It's going to be really, really great. So take advantage of this high energy day. Don't put off today, what you could do tomorrow, right? What they were saying. Don't put off tomorrow what you could do today. Thank you. I knew I was going to mess that up. Because, you got to live in the now and take care of everything. Right here and right now. Alright. So, speaking about the numerology of the day, in the True Psychics Network, or TPN magazine, on the True Psychics Network website, we have great articles. There's show reminders about upcoming shows each day. And also, Jane Alton, who is the UK's #1 numerologist, also her daily numerology report is in there as well. And that's the energy, she's just universal energy, alright, and it's really in sync, I find, every day. Very much so in sync. I find this very beautiful. And so be sure to check it all out. And you'll enjoy all the articles, enjoy everything. And if by any chance you have anything that you would like to have published in the True Psychics Network magazine, just please email me. Give me an email, and we'll put it in there. All right? And if you'd like to become an advertiser, which you have so much more opportunities to market, promote your business, please check out the advertising page on True Psychics Network as well. So you're just going to really be blown away by how affordable it is and how much that you have to that is offered to advertisers. So also, while you're at True Psychics Network magazine, or I'm sorry, at the website True Psychics Network, be sure to check out the weekly horoscopes. This week, we have 2 members who channel them. We usually just have 1 member each week who takes turn in channeling the messages. And it's not so much horoscopes like astrological as far as everything is so precise, where's the planets for this sign. These are very spiritual messages for each sun sign. So it's beautiful. I love the messages. We can't wait for the new messages each week. And there was a overbooking error, and 2 people, actually 2 members, submitted the horoscopes for this week. So you know what? Let's use them both. So they are channeled this week by Reverend Pamela Cummins, who is also known as the musical psychic. So there's going to be music lyrics. And Chef Ceci, our food alchemist. So be sure to check out these wonderful horoscopes. And Chef Ceci also has herbs for each sign as well. So you very much, it's mind, body, and soul. It's food for mind, body, and soul. It really is. So holistic. Alright, I just want to let you know too that I do offer online courses on my website, whitesagewoman.com, and that at the beginning of August, on August 1st, I am going to actually increase the price on the Crystal Reiki Master Teacher Certification course. So if you've been wondering about, oh, maybe I should take this course, let me tell you, the time is now, because in the next, after 2 weeks, you've got 2 weeks to take this course, because effective August 1st, the price is going to go up. And so you're going to wish that you had taken advantage of this opportunity. Whether you are a healing practitioner, you're in the healing field, you know, you use crystals, you're a crystal enthusiast, it's a great, great course, and it is a certification as well. So it's just great. I love crystals. So if you love them too, check it out. And one chapter is dedicated just to what crystals are. It's almost like a crystal book, identification type of thing. But one chapter is totally dedicated to that. And that was something that I put in, I implemented. And it was a course that I got from my Crystal Reiki Master Teacher, but I tweaked it, and with blessings, but I tweaked it. So, and I added that in there. Because you need a quick reference guide sometimes to crystals and gemstones. So, alright, like I said, be sure to check that out on online courses on the whitesagewoman.com website. And that, again, is the Crystal Reiki Master Teacher Certification. That price is going up effective August 1st. So, take advantage of it. Speaking of crystals, each week I like to give the crystal and gemstone message. And the crystal that showed up this morning is rose quartz. Rose quartz. Oh, so beautiful, huh? I have raw chunks of rose quartz around the house, and always in the bedroom and by the bed. It's all about love and romance, but not just outer love, but inner love. I have right here on my desk too, I have a rose quartz Merkaba. Like, I'm so used to going to my other camera, I almost went to my other camera. I'll get my PC running again later, but for some reason it just, one of the flash drives won't load for me, so I'm going to have to do some deep cleaning later. Anyway, or some research with that, or have my IT person check it out when he gets home. But anyway, okay, so that was a rose quartz Merkaba, cut in a Merkaba shape. But I love rose quartz, and you can get them in all sorts of different shapes if you want to, all the crystals and gemstones. So, I find that they're really effective when they're in the raw, natural state. You know, when man takes it and we polish it, we're adding man's energy. I want as much earth energy as possible, so I love them in the raw state. Alright, rose quartz. Rose quartz is a stone of love and relationships. It helps you to communicate with others in harmonious ways. Hey, harmonious communication. That's right in line with the numerology for today, number 2, isn't it? Interesting how it all comes together. Then I also like to give a message from the spirit power animal. And the spirit power animal that showed up this morning is a woodpecker. And the woodpecker showed up at my bird feeder with the suet. The woodpeckers love the suet. So it was funny because we have a wooden pole designated, and we have several bird feeders on there. And So he would get some suet. He'd hop over, peck on the pole, eat some more suet. But it's very, very interesting if you've never, have you ever listened to a woodpecker? Now, and I'm talking about truly listen to nature. Not, what is that bird messing up now? Is it putting holes in something that I've got to fix? Really? Release that. Release it, because I guarantee, you know, that animal beings in nature does not have an agenda to get you and to make your day miserable. We need to see things as they are being truly presented. So, the woodpecker actually represents an understanding of rhythms and cycles and patterns, prophecy, pecking away at deception to find the divine truth. Isn't that intriguing? Pecking away deception to find the divine truth. And it's also the earth's drummer. A woodpecker is the earth's drummer. And I remember one time I was contemplating whether I wanted to go to a particular powwow or not. I love powwows. Some of them are so commercialized now. And I was having that kind of dialogue inside. Do I go to this powwow? And the woodpecker shows up as I'm in my daydream trance. And I didn't realize the woodpecker's there. I start pecking and I'm like, oh. And I look over at him and he's like, go, go, go. Feel the mother drum. Feel the earth drum being played. Feel the vibration. I was like, they're like, it doesn't matter about the commercialism. You know, you let that melt around. You let that melt away and just enjoy that earth drum. Just enjoy that inner circle, what's going on there. And I was like, you're right, I need it. And because you can feel it, I would always try to wear flats or sandals or something like I could kick off my shoes and put my feet right directly on the earth. And you can feel the vibration of the drums. And it's just, I'll tell you, I don't care who you are, every living being responds to drums being played because the drums do represent earth. All right, this is why usually, and which is very feminine, which is usually why there's male players, so to speak. There's male drummers. All right, and that was traditional. It was supposed to be male to balance the feminine energy, and then females around them either playing rattles or chanting or singing. Now it is acceptable. Although you'll still find some tribes that are really traditional and kind of no female drummers. And you'll find some that allow the females to sit at the drum as well. So it's it's just as long as you're balanced, right? I mean, if you're guided to play the drum, play the drum. Sometimes tradition gets in the way of progress. Doesn't it? All right. So let's get to the topic then. Death and transitioning is the first part of it. And the second part is, what is your spiritual transition plan? Is actually an article I wrote for the summer edition of the Door Opener. And I'm going to share that with you. And it's kind of interesting. I didn't realize how everything just falls into place. The topics and what to discuss and the guides. I mean, you just got to go with it. The guides that wanted me to talk about what I've been through a very emotional weekend and wanted me to talk about that, and then to read my article. And I totally forgot the article that I wrote in the Door Opener until I go back to it and realize, wow, it all ties together. It's all about the same thing. I'm like, oh wow, they are so awesome. I love it. I love it. We just got to really trust our guides. And let me tell you, once you start that dialogue, you stick with it and it gets easier. It really does. And that trust, no one can knock you off of that and try to stray you from anything. And I'm going to give you an example. Excuse me, let me take a sip of water here. Oh, yay. Okay. I'll give you an example. This is kind of funny. It's Today is actually my husband and I's 25th wedding anniversary. Today is the day. We celebrate for 11 days because we actually had to get married twice. I can share this now. There was a time when I was quiet about it because I didn't want to get arrested. But I had a first marriage. I was married way too young. It didn't even last 2 years. And there was a miscommunication between my lawyer and I. The lawyer said paperwork was signed. He just had to get it to me. And so we set the big wedding. Well, I had a big wedding the first time around. Didn't want that. But it's my husband George's first marriage, so we wanted to make it really nice for him. So instead of a church wedding, there was actually, we got married in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and there was a center that, a wedding, it was called the Wedding Chapel. You could go in and get married, and they had all denominations. You can request any type of wedding. All right, it's kind of like now, like with metaphysical ministers will come and they will give you any type of wedding that you want. But this is an actual chapel that was set up, and you could go in there and they'll decorate it any way that you wanted it. They had different chapels, some religious, spiritual, whatever. It was a really great concept. And so we got married there when we had planned it for July 14th. And he had husband's from New York, so he had family flying down, tickets were booked. I mean, everything was all planned. And so we got married. Because the lawyer said everything was done, Okay. And so we got married. And it wasn't until the following week, I do believe, we went to the military to register our marriage and to register me as a dependent. And they're asking for the divorce papers. And we're like, wait, we didn't even get those yet. They're like, well, we need those. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, all right, we'll be back tomorrow then. Yeah, it wasn't tomorrow. Because I called my lawyer and I was like, we need those divorce papers. Let me see why I pick them up. He's like, oh, they actually ended up taking a little longer. It ended up sitting on my desk longer than planned. He was like, I'm wrapping it up now. I'm like, what are you telling me? That you didn't finish processing it? I was like, you do realize we told you we got married on the 14th. Yeah, you may want to go to the justice of the peace after you pick up this paperwork and just get another marriage. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, all right. We were very quiet about it. We didn't want to say anything to anybody. And so we have always celebrated for 11 days. From July 14th to when we had the divorce papers in our hand, July 25th. So the Navy officially recognizes our wedding as July 25th. But we celebrate from the 14th to the 25th. So we have 11 days. So that's a funny story for you. We just recently only let that out. We've just told the family and they're laughing. They're okay, that's cute. But you can understand at that time it might not have been so cute. So anyway, it's I have upstairs framed in our bedroom both marriage certificates. So great conversation piece. I kept it in the bedroom. And not downstairs where everyone can see it. But so that's a funny little insight. I'll let you into that. Well, that was way off track. I didn't plan on talking about all that. Anyway, the whole trust thing was that when we got married, husband was active duty, very active duty with the Navy. We got I didn't want engagement rings because I didn't believe the whole diamond thing. So we just got some bands, just some gold bands, and okay, that was that. That was fine. But like we could always upgrade another time. Okay. Well, over the years, we can't wear our original wedding bands. I think I switched to wearing George's because his was bigger. And we were like, you know what? How about we do like we always wanted to do? We always wanted to have custom-made wedding bands. And he's like, okay. And so I went online and researched. Now, anytime I always ask the guides, help me find just the right person. And it happens very quickly. And I do this even with my business and with True Psychics Network. If there's something that I'm looking for, I need to understand, like for marketing, for IT, for the website, for anything. bam, I'm taken to it really quick. And so I learned to trust this. So I found this designer really fast. You know it's going to be costly when you get anything custom made done. And so I was like, but he was cutting us a deal when he heard the story and why. And he's never, and this one designer creates really great. I'll share more another time on who this designer is. I'll probably share on my Facebook page and social network, because he is a well-known designer, at least in California. So we knew it was going to be a little pricey. My husband, I have to tell you, has always been like this financially. We're a great balance, though. I used to be very, very spontaneous. When I want something, bam, all right? But I actually have eased up a lot in making sure that it is for my highest and greatest before just making a leap. Because I've made some bad choices by being too spontaneous. Not that spontaneity is bad. You just want to make sure that you are checking first. And sometimes I wouldn't do that. So it makes my husband nervous now when I found it right here. Because he's not home during the day. He doesn't see how it works every day for me. And he was like, I don't know. Maybe we should do more research. I was like, what do you want? Research for a week? Doesn't mean, what? The length of time that you research something is no guarantee that you're not going to be taken to the bank, right? And I was like, and the guides led me to this. And he's just looking at me. He was like, oh, right, the guides. And I was like, I'm not just saying it. I'm being serious and sincere. I was like, if you want to do research, you do the research. He goes, no, it's okay. I trust you. So it's just kind of cute, though, that kind of, all right. Oh, and he's so used to it now. That, I think, too, that's why he was like, oh, all right. I was like, and I don't say just, oh, the guides just to get my way either. And he starts laughing because I knew that's what he was thinking. And I was like, no, honey, no. Trust me, haven't we learned enough? We've made some bad financial decisions in the past, and we got through it, though. But it was lessons learned. It's like it's not anything like that. Okay, right. I was like, that's what you're remembering. That hesitation is in the past mistake. But, so it was really cute, though. But we're like that, even with ourselves in the beginning. It's that trust, it's that hesitation. And after you do that and you have this dialogue with your guides, every day on a daily basis, it gets stronger and stronger and strengthens. And it's, those around you are amazed in watching this happen. And so I thought I would just share that little part with you there about that. But so, and I did this too, even with, and this is what I'm going to get into about this weekend being kind of emotional. Well, it's a roller coaster, but it's actually a balance of everything. Quite honestly, one of my dogs, our oldest one, 14, she was 14 years old, Foxy, had been sick for the last 6 weeks. And I had a choice. Let me just talk to you here about this. You have female dogs. Please, please make sure you get them fixed. Foxy was never fixed. We got her when she was 6 months old. And because we really thought we wanted to breed her. But we never did. And I know even those that maybe want to breed dogs, so I don't want to get them fixed. Okay, so just be careful. Make sure they're not the breed that is susceptible to infection and disease in the female parts later on. We didn't do that kind of research. We didn't know. Even though all through the years, I was very careful, the vets would say, oh, she needs to get fixed. Well, why? And they wouldn't answer me. If you can't answer my why, I'm not going to do something. All right? Just because you say so. I don't care. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to put my dog under that. And so, but I did, though, with we have Gracie and Ty as well, and I did with Gracie, just because Gracie was, wow, she, on her first heat, she had a litter of pups. I was like, poor girl. I was like, we need to, I felt it, I knew it, I knew she had to be fixed. Anyway, so 6 weeks ago, I noticed Foxy started having certain symptoms. So I researched them, and she was having, oh, I cannot think of a scientific name right now, but it is what happens to dogs, older dogs, female dogs, when they're not fixed, and it's their whole uterus is just kind of, she was leaking pus from her female parts, and she actually had a hard time getting up. She didn't want to eat, nothing. So I looked up an herbal supplement, and it actually was very effective. By day 3, it did everything that this one holistic vet said. Try it. This is the dosage for 3 days. And what I used was Arsenium album. It's the good part of arsenic, not the bad part. So, and it comes in little round pellets. So I would dissolve them, take a dropper, get it in her, and I did that for 3 days. And by day 3, I mean, she was up, moving around. She was like a puppy again. She was eating. Everything was great. And they said, you're going to probably have to do this several times, repeat these treatments. Just keep an eye and watch out for her when she starts to leak again. And so we went through a second treatment. Everything was fine, just like before. You know, boom, boom, boom. Actually caught it a little before 3 days. Last week, she started doing the same thing again. Let's start the treatment. But she wouldn't eat for 5. I knew when she got to day 6 of not eating. And so that's how it was this past weekend. It was, we celebrated we went on Saturday nights, really lovely celebration, just my husband and I. Went out to eat because during the week it's really busy for us. So we celebrated on Saturday, the first celebration. And then Sunday, losing track of time. Then Sunday was a very hard morning and afternoon, and she started, when we saw the green leakage, that was kidney failure. We knew. It was only a matter of time after that. We didn't know she was going to make it through the night. And so we had put her in a comfortable spot away from the other dogs, away from, where they play and everything. We put her actually in the kitchen near the water bowl, but she just wouldn't even get up anymore. I had to even just try to hydrate her with the dropper. But we knew that there was very limited time. When she snapped her jaw shut, like, I'm done. Just leave me alone now. And so it was like, okay. And so we ate dinner with her laying beside us, my husband and I. And the other dogs were really respectful. Usually, when you eat, you know how dogs are. They're right there. Hey, give me some. But Gracie and Ty kept their distance. And so we look at her. She was still breathing, hanging in there. It's very hard to hear a pet that you love whimper in pain. And she started whimpering, and I was like, please, spirit doctor, spirit healers, the angels, don't let her stay in pain. There's no sense for it. Please help her to cut the cord and just to go home. And as I was saying that, I saw she's outlived 2 male dogs, Foxy has. I saw Apollo and Rusty, these 2 male dogs, show up, and I was like, oh yeah, it's any time now. And sure enough, after dinner we were doing dishes, and my husband knew. He turned around and he goes, Tiffany, she's gone. And he was that was hard on my husband, because that was Daddy's girl. She just loved my husband. I mean, she'd tolerate me, but she was she's Daddy's girl. So I know that was hard on him. And so and the other dogs, Gracie from a distance, was watching as I was watching Foxy leave her body, go play. Because she was hanging for a few moments. They don't just, it's like boom, boom. Sometimes they'll hang for a few minutes. And then with Apollo and Rusty, and they took her. I saw rainbow colors. Now, they say you see a rainbow bridge or across, but I just saw these beautiful colors. And here is the beautiful thing. I viewed this in a balanced state. What does that mean? It was so beautiful, so heartwarming. I was so happy for her. I had tears of happiness for her and pain. Both. Why? Because is it just human nature to grieve for someone we love that's crossed over? And is it the, you've been around us for so long and created this energy, and just how fast we can cross over, we can go in a blink of an eye. That's not something you can get used to right away. Because you have your certain, let's say, routines, but you have your certain, all right, there's a process. Got up yesterday morning to let the dogs out. Oh, calling for Foxy. Oh, right. And so just the whole thing of where the dogs sleep at nighttime and all this, the whole making sure everyone's comfortable. So I know it's going to take a couple days just to get used to. Maybe longer at different levels. I'm very, very happy with the next things that we did was, excuse me. Now, because we live in the city, we didn't know if there was any guidelines with ever burying a pet. We had even the 2 male dogs that were here. We had taken them to the vet to be cremated. It's a Sunday. The only 24-hour place that wasn't even local. We had to drive 45 minutes away. So we wrap her up and put her in the back of the Jeep, and we drove to where we thought this place was. They had moved, and they moved even further down the Connecticut coast or up in Rhode Island. We're like, we're not going to go drive another hour in each direction. So we sat there in the parking lot, of this abandoned veterinary hospital. And we're like, what do we do? And my husband was like, we're just going to bury her. It was like, everything happens. He goes, we just totally redid the backyard because we got a new fence in the garden area. And there was a section, an end piece of a garden we didn't know what to do with. We were like, well, we could just plant some more plants. We don't know what to put there. Well, husband goes, now I know what to do at the end of the garden. He goes, we're going to bury her, and we're going to make a memorial for her and for all our furry ones that have crossed over. I was like, that's a really great idea. I was like, okay. So then we go home, we go home. On the way home, just because I don't want to leave this part out, I was like, you know what? Foxy loved car rides. I was like, she's enjoying one last car ride. She loves to eat too. So I was like, she had dinner with us. She's enjoying this car ride. And this is the body, honoring the body. And I was like, yeah, it would feel good, because I'm not saying that you don't never know what they're really doing with the body when you drop it off to be cremated, unless you want the ashes back. And are you really getting the ashes? I mean, I'm like kind of going through it, not really trusting. That's just really my dog. What are you doing? Because you hear so many bad things. And there was a vet, I do believe, in Connecticut or the Northeast that years ago got charged for just dumping bodies in the back. They found all these bodies. So it's kind of like, we want to honor. We want to honor the temple that housed her soul. And this is what we were having this discussion when in the lane that was to the right of us, there was another vehicle that came and passed us and got in front of us, and George was like, oh my gosh, Tiffany, look. And in that, it was a truck, like a pickup truck, and they had the windows open, and the dog had his face face out the his or her face out the window looking. A Foxy is a border collie cocker spaniel mix. So it was a cocker spaniel, brown and white, staring at us. And I knew, but it was so beautiful to hear my husband go, "That's validation." Foxy likes that idea. How often we don't have, it's very rare for us to see any kind of cocker spaniels here. And actually, she was an English spaniel because she had the black and white coloring. So she was border collie, English spaniel mixed. But just to, and black and white. And this dog, though, was brown and white and had those little fluffy ears like she does. And it was just like, yep, she likes that. It was validation. And then, of course, at that point, I mean, we're almost home, but we're both, because we're coming off the highway, and we had to stop at a stoplight, and we both, at that point, were just, like, in tears. And so we pulled into our driveway, back into it, and then it was like, let's get to it right now. So here we are. I mean, and it was getting late, but it was still light outside. Yay, summer. So here we are. We're out there with shovels, and my husband was like, I wonder if the neighbors are going to watch. He's like, who cares? Just get going. You know? And so we did. We buried her, and I put in a treat, because she used to hoard treats. She was really bad, and it was just to upset the rest of the dogs. She knew they were going to eat theirs really quick, and then I still got mine. Ha 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 ha! You can have it. You know, that kind of thing. She would slowly nibble at it. She was a trip, I tell you. But so I buried one with her. And again, it's all, I know where her soul is, but it's honoring the body. We need to do that as human beings. And I couldn't understand before why mummification, why the whole thing with, because I felt that was, they're going overboard in trying to preserve a body. Your soul's not going to come back into that. You wouldn't want to, so why go through that? And it's all just honor and respect. And that there, it has our energy on it. Still, it has the soul's energy. Energize something. So it was like, it was very important for us. It was like, because it was something that we wish we did with all our other dogs in the past, but we didn't, you know. Okay, let's do this. And also too, we moved around so much, and we were in rentals, so we weren't going to bury a dog that wasn't, you know. Didn't want to freak anybody out later on if they were to go to dig and find bones. So anyway, it was a very emotional weekend. We had a lot of highs and lows and balances, because this is why balance can feel uncomfortable, because you're experiencing both at the same time, but it's beautiful. It shouldn't be uncomfortable. It should be very, very beautiful. It becomes uncomfortable when we stay in one extreme too long, and throws us even more so out of balance. All right? And so it's something I wanted to share. And I say she still is. I say that with anyone, though. My mom's crossed over, both my dads. You know, I don't talk to them in past tense. They're still alive. They still come and visit me. So why am I going to say my parents were like this? They liked this. You know, when it's the same. And I'm going to say the same thing with my dogs. I say that with all the pets. And it doesn't have to be just dog or cat. There's people, I mean, any type of pet that you have. It could be a horse, it could be a pot-belly pig, you know, a little lamb. Just as long as it's not an illegal exotic animal. I mean, really. So I wanted to share that part with you, because the death and transition, and we shouldn't be scared of death. Never, ever should we be scared of death. I think subconsciously, a lot of what scares people is the whole idea maybe of aging, of us deteriorating, because we know our soul doesn't. But it's kind of scary to see the temple or the body. But here's the thing is that aging is a choice. Whether you want to bring disease or illness into your body is also a choice. All right. So, looking at the time, without further ado, I want to read this article. It's in the Summer Door Opener magazine. And before I read mine, I would like to give a shout out to another beautiful member of True Psychics Network, Jan Bartrope Babbitt. She is a very gifted hypnotherapist. She's an alchemy hypnotherapist. And I suggest that you check out her page on True Psychics Network. Well, you should check out all the holistic professionals pages on True Psychics Network, because everyone has something beautiful to offer too. But she's also in this magazine on page 6. It's Disconnect Yourself for a Healthier, Happier Life. And this is her article right here. Let's see. I'm trying to get it into the... There we go. Okay. So she's on page 6. You can also go online and read these as well. The Door Opener magazine has an online version. I'm on page 11. Now, I do believe online the pages may be a little different, but you'll find them. You just thumb through them, you'll find it. Alright, so see, here's my article here. What is your spiritual transition plan? Alright, so as we all know, the universe is in a constant state of transition, change, birth and death, and rebirth. That's what death is a rebirth. To be in harmony with these powerful energies, we must have some sort of plan in surviving the daily challenges of change and transition. Most of us have healthcare plans, educational plans, career plans, retirement plans, but what about a spiritual ascension and transition plan? Many of us have been taught at a very young age to have a plan for your career and your health or mind and body. What is usually left out of is your soul plan. What will you do in the afterlife? How will your transition or rebirth process occur? Will it be a smooth, peaceful process or one of initial resistance and confusion? To leave your soul's progress in God's hands without any or very little participation on your part is like expecting your parents or guardians to magically take care of you and your situation. We must take responsibility of every aspect of ourselves, mind, body, and soul. Nature is a great example of how we should have a plan or a goal for our spiritual growth and development. During the winter months, it may appear that growth isn't going on outside, yet that is not the case at all. Underneath the frozen ground, or deep within, seeds are being manifested and given the spark of life. This growth or transition that occurs behind the scenes during the winter is evident in the spring. It may seem that a switch has been turned on and just automatically spring is initiated. However, it is nature's planning, or nature, or the natural state of being, that brings on the transformation from winter to spring, from spring to summer, and the constant birth and rebirth of one season to the next. Yes, nature shows us how we need to embrace the sudden changes in weather, in our environment, and in our daily lives. We have heard the phrase, go with the flow. I like to refer to it as grow with the flow. We have tremendous opportunity to shift our outcomes simply by choosing to see, understand, embrace the constant state of yin and yang, of chaos and birth, and to work together in harmony and oneness. We don't have to like it, but it's very necessary. You'll grow to like it. Sure, a situation can be uncomfortable and not very pleasurable, Why does it feel this way? We are to explore and learn more about ourselves so that we can achieve a permanent state of pleasure and peace by understanding the negative aspects of pleasure and peace. The universal life isn't about opposites. Sorry, the universal life force isn't about opposites, separation, or being stuck in one state of being. No. Our divine life force is about balance. Change is described by using words such as transition, transformation, birth, rebirth, even death, resurrection, ascension, or any other word that you may use to refer to change. What does a spiritual transition mean to you? Is it a mystery, a curiosity, a subject of fascination and belief? Is it your goal? Being in the holistic profession, I experience on a daily basis how healing is an ongoing process of transformation. Assisting others in their spiritual progress also helps me with mine as well. Notice I said assist with healing. I don't wave a magic wand nor claim to remove all illness, pain, or disease. In order for healing to truly occur, we must do our part by taking responsibility for our complete health, mind, body, and soul. It is easy to be blinded to the fact that we do create our own obstacles and blockages. For me personally, as soon as I stopped blaming others for my pain and misery, I was left with the bitter truth that it was my fault and how I viewed the process and processed the manner in which life was happening to me. I stopped taking everything so damn personal. Do you realize that destructive energy that is happening within you happens without or outside of you as well? And you attract all of that? Sitting outside and having a chat with the birds and wise trees helped me to understand that I was even hurting them with my harmful thoughts and actions. For we are all connected, and they feel everything. This brought me to tears and to a place of surrender. I never intend to harm others. Yet when I hurt myself, I was harming others as well. I allow myself now to feel every emotion and thought and apply what is needed to make that feeling or thought a balanced one. If I have a negative sensation, I find why I'm having this by applying some positive energy to it. Likewise, if I'm feeling too positive, I become ungrounded and the opportunity to be blinded by the light can occur. So I apply some negativity in order to reach the balanced state of being. This is how we obtain peace on a global scale. Think about this. You go out in the sun, you can get blinded by the light. You have to kind of cover or shade your eyes in order to see perfectly, right? Balance, that's bringing in the negativity, so to speak, or that darkness to the light so that you can see just at the right conditions. That's what balance is. Too much light, we're blinded. Too little, we can't see. Right? We're stuck. So, beautiful balancing. Again, all in the perspective of how we can view and see things. We can have the intention of creating peace, yet if peace doesn't reside within us, how can it effectively reside outside of us? I am sure you may know of someone, or maybe even experience this yourself, who volunteers to help others to a degree that they forget about themselves. They don't take care of themselves. Or worse, they consider it selfish to take care of themselves before others. If you aren't creating a space of self-love and peace within you, wouldn't anything you do for others be incomplete? It would be an illusion, and the help or assistance wouldn't be as effective or powerful as it could be. You must establish and maintain the space, that sacred space within you first, before you can help others. Not the other way around. This doesn't mean to wait until you feel that you have accomplished maintaining this space. No. This process is ongoing and never ending. It is vital, though, to establish your spiritual foundation within you first and foremost. As we transform and ascend, so do others. Almost done. Change occurs every day, morning into afternoon, afternoon to evening, into night. These transitions seem subtle and are accepted in our daily routine of life. Some transitions are minor and some are major, yet these changes are necessary for the transformation of our soul's growth and development. My husband and I are in a new phase of our lives. In January, our two sons moved out of the home and into their apartment together. They both are in their early 20s. And since this time, too, one of my sons has gotten engaged. All right, so was I sad that they left? Sure, a part of me was. I was sad that they have grown up faster than I would have liked. Yet I always knew this would happen. I knew this day would come. And I allowed myself to grieve over the endings of one phase and be joyous of this next exciting new phase for us all. My sons have grown into fine young men, and we are very proud of who they are, mind, body, and soul. I've always viewed our role as parents as one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences, as many parents would probably agree. What an honor it is to be hosts and guardians to two beautiful, bright souls. We have allowed them to discover who they are by providing the necessary spiritual tools for them to access and utilize in the building of their own spiritual foundations. We were careful not to project our unfulfilled opportunities, our fears, and even beliefs into our sons. This wasn't always an easy task, but as every parent discovers, children teach us that we really don't know as much as we think we do, and that parenthood is truly a learning, growing, and transforming experience for all involved. The other part of this transition for my husband and I is that we get to spend time with each other that we haven't had since children came into our lives. Certainly, we are totally different people now than we were 25 years ago. Relationships we have with others and even with ourselves do change and evolve on a daily basis. Yet sometimes we don't totally grasp these subtle daily, weekly, and monthly changes until years are behind us. What is my personal spiritual transition plan? Well, while staying grounded in the now and to keep moving forward with raising the vibration of my soul from within in order to help do my part in bringing peace back to humanity. Now I ask you, my dear sisters and brothers, what is your spiritual transition plan? Reflect on this and be sure to journal not only your plan, but your progress as well. And that's the article. That's the article. I just realized the time too. So, hope you have enjoyed this show. And if there's any topics that you would like for me to ask my guides or do some channeling, please don't hesitate. Just email me. I'm getting a lot of great feedback, and my dogs agree. So, anyway, thank you so much for sitting in Sacred Circle with each and every one of us. When you watch this, it's not just with me and you, it feels great, but also every other viewer, whether it's now or archived, there is space created for them. There's this beautiful circle, and we are all receiving love and healing at the same time. It's also very harmonious. So I wish you a very balanced and peaceful week ahead. And I do plan on having another live show next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to check out not only my personal YouTube channel, you can find me just on Tiffany White, or Goldylocks. It's Temple of Healing was too long, so it's Goldylocks TOH. But like I said, you should be able to find my YouTube channel just by typing in Tiffany White. True Psychics Network has a YouTube channel, but I do believe it's called True Psychics Online, which you can still type in True Psychics Network and see what happens. You'll find it. Plus, we'll share it. So between True Psychics Network website and my website, all the information is there that you need. So thank you so much, and many blessings to each and every one of you. I am truly grateful and honored that you spent this time with me. Namaste.